All right, so it is time for our weekly panel, Rants and Raves, and we're going to start with Josh.
This week, Yahoo, which is a company that had seen better days and is sort of trying to figure out a way to turn itself around, decided to buy for $30 million a small app called Sumly from the UK. They bought the app and they shut it down because no one was really using the app. It doesn't really actually have any interesting technology. There's really nothing compelling about this app or this purchase. Yahoo makes acquisitions of this size all the time. It was on the front page of the New York Times and on the front page of a lot of newspapers and got huge attention purely because the guy who the face of the app is 17 years old. So my rant is against the very short-sighted sort of folks in the media who see a story and want to slot themselves into it. The idea of this, young wunderkind in the technology world who's going to do this, that story we tell so easily. That this story got so much attention, and it should have gotten 1/10 of it, if that.
I noticed that too, because everybody picked it up that night. If it's on the front page of the New York Times, all the networks picked it up, and cables, and
all the stories were all. They were asking, like, so does your girlfriend like the fact that you're something? And like, please, let's just be adults.
I think the most important part of that story was, and it didn't get highlighted often, is that he cannot work at home. He has to go into the office because of Marissa Meyer's policy.
All right, Callie, that's a good one. What do you got?
Well, I was interested in the cover story for New York Magazine, which was written by Joe Hagan, and it is about the whole unraveling of the Matt Lauer and Curry situation. I know we talked about this and some of the blowback that Matt Lauer has gotten, but I just have to give a rave for the reporting. It is so detailed. It gives you all the juicy stuff, down to NBC preventing Ann Curry from writing a sympathetic tweet to Robin Roberts when she was out ill. I mean, this is crazy stuff. And I also thought you got a chance to see how it impacted the rest of the team. He really did some good homework there, gathered up some stuff. There's been more that's come out since that. And, of course, the rant is that Matt's not coming off looking so good, and I've been a fan of his in the past, so it's kind of interesting.
He was trying to make himself look good.
Right.
Or I was trying to protect Ann Curry.
Right.
All right, let's see. Marjorie.
Well, it was widely reported that Barbara Walters, who I believe is 83 or 84, is going to be retiring. And I know it's very fashionable to make fun of Barbara Walters and her, question, I think it was to Katharine Hepburn, about if you were a tree, what kind of tree you would be. But I got to say, I think we women in journalism owe her a great debt. Because remember, she was the Today girl when she first started on the Today Show all those years ago. And even though she gets ridiculed for The View, which I kind of like, actually, and for some of the things she did on the news magazines, she did Anwar Sadat, she did Menachem Begin, she did Fidel Castro, she did Putin, she did all these heads of state. She's very smart, she's single-minded, and I think she paved the way for a lot of us. And I like Barbara Walters, and I think she makes The View, and when she's not on it anymore.
We're not making fun of her,
no,
right, Callie?
We both work with her.
We know.
Yes.
Oh, good.
We're not laughing.
Okay.
Oh, no,
I hear that all the time.
Oh, no.
My co-host on the radio always makes fun of her. What kind of tree would you be?
Let me say this about her that is, aside from the many other talents that she has, I mean, first of all, she's a dog on a bone getting an interview. I've never seen anybody as driven as her. The second thing is she is the best writer I have ever seen.
Really?
She can rewrite in her head. We would go to the writers' meeting at 2020, and they would have, slaved over all the introductions, and she'd say, no, it should be this. And they're scrambling and recording her. Yeah. She has credentials.
She's got it.
Oh, good. Because I think she's been great.
You're right. All right, Dan.
I would be a white pine. I have a rave for a West Virginia website called Putnam Live, and for the idea of TV cameras in the courtroom.
Oh, right.
Putnam Live.
Federal courtroom.
Well, yeah, but courtrooms in general. Putnam Live has gotten out some video that was recorded of a family court judge named William Watkins, who has berated and screamed at people in the most demeaning manner in his courtroom, including such lines as, "Shut up, you stupid woman." I believe we have some video.
Really?
I'd love for your parishioners to know that the first thing you do when you swear to God and tell the truth, you come in here and tell a lie.
Sir, I can't.
I'm above that sort of thing.
I can't.
I'm above. Shut up! I didn't tell you to talk. Did I tell you to talk? What did I tell you right at the beginning of the hearing? Are you deaf? Huh?
There's actually worse than that on there, but his voice, his voice distorted so much you couldn't hear it. Anyway, good for them. Judge Watkins has been suspended through 2016. It just happened this week.
Wow, that's
terrific.
Yeah. What's the media angle?
The Putnam Live has worked like crazy to get this out there.
Well, I have on this note just a rave for Anthony Lewis, who is, of course, a long-time columnist for the New York Times, writing mostly on legal issues. He was my mother's favorite columnist. She had to read him every day he was in the New York Times. And of course, he was the author of the book Gideon's Trumpet, which was 50th anniversary of that was 50 years ago today, this week, and it was your right to get an attorney. Everybody knows Miranda rights, but who knew, you know, Gideon and your right to an attorney, and Anthony Lewis really put that story on the map. So, and he, of course, was the husband of Margaret Marshall, who's the former Chief Justice of this state. So, all right, and that is it for Beat the Press. Tell us what you think. Should the media shame misbehaving teens? Sound off at our website at beatthepress.org. Next week on Greater Boston.
There is no normal anymore. You have to create a new normal after having cancer. It's not the same anymore.
How new rehab centers are helping cancer survivors get back on their feet. That's next week on Greater Boston. For all of us, I'm Emily Rooney. Thanks for watching.